Okay, yes, I see people here, so I think I might jump on and say a little bit thing. Otherwise, yeah, it's just so nice to see you guys on weekends. I didn't go out because I'm a little bit afraid of COVID this week. We just opened, the policy just changed, so everything is different, and many of my friends get positive. So I don't dare to go out too often to play. So it's better just stay at home and do my work. And I think I will start to finish this one. It's the previous week one, I think. Kinda, yes, this Italian tattoo guy is here. Bobbish Italian fried rice. So I'm gonna start to work on it, and I'll just put my BGM here, otherwise it's gonna be too silent. So See you soon. I will monitor the chat and feel free to chat also. You can also see my channel and join my Discord. Yeah, just enjoy our time. See you soon. Oh yeah, guys, I'm coming. I'm coming. I hope you can hear me, right? Hello, hello. I'm finishing, so I can unmute my mic. Yes. I'm gonna finish this. Okay, so let me check my chat. The fever, the normal cold. Okay, I got cold last month, and it tortures me nearly a week. I haven't got cold for a pretty long time because everybody is afraid of COVID, so I just take good care of myself and I just try to not get cold. But sadly, the temperature between the day and night is too fierce, so I got a cold. And the worst thing is that although I got a cold, I have to go to work and I feel like nobody cares about me at all. They still ask me to do everything. So I think just what you can do is just like take care of yourself and try not to get cold. My friends cares about me, so they just give me some medicine and they invite me to some like very warm restaurant. They invited me to eat some lamb soup. Lamb soup is pretty popular recently because it's winter. When you eat lamb, you will get heat. You will get nutrition from the lamb, so you can get warm. You become more energetic, and it's heal your how to call that? It's heal your cold, right? And about the COVID, so I can see. I feel the world is knowing that China is like there is no longer zero COVID policy anymore, so it's just suddenly everything is like no COVID test anywhere, so it's pretty unbelievable, right? It's so unreal because like maybe just 1 week earlier I'm still doing the COVID test every day, and just the line, I have to wait in the winter like 1 hour or 2 hours in line to get a COVID test, and with the negative result I will be able to go to work. Otherwise I will be quarantined at home or even be carried to a hospital, like quarantine hospital, right? But suddenly like the news from the media, it just says that the COVID is just a big cold, and you don't need to take COVID test. Just don't take COVID test, right? It's just the opposite. It's just the opposite. So it's pretty insane. I mean, there should be more measures. I know that restaurants, they're full of people there because they are too afraid of COVID, so they just feel uncomfortable and they go to the hospital. And the hospital is the worst place nowadays because people get COVID from the hospital. They may just catch a cold, right? Because recently the weather is so fucking cold, and they get cold and they go to hospital, and they go to hospital, they get COVID. So if you feel bad, just stay at home instead of going to hospital. If you go to the hospital, you have to wait for 5 hours, at least 2 hours. 2 hours to 4 hours. And you wait in the winter, it's so freezing cold, and you will get a worse cold, and you also get the COVID. So I don't think it's a good idea to go to hospital. My friends just stay at home and sleep there. Just take care of yourself. That's what I can say. Because you are the one, you are the owner of your body. So you just take care of your body. And if you catch a cold, you will spend money on medicine, right? It's so hard to earn money nowadays. Yes, I'm just so glad I'm finishing this. Yes. This is my task today. And I will do the thumbnail of this video, And I feel like I still have other videos because Uncle Roger have other collaboration videos with Nick. I think I should rest for a while and later I will start to do that. Yes, just balance, just work-life balance, right? It's Saturday and I'm still working and I haven't eaten anything today. So maybe now it's time for relaxing. Let's just maybe we should listen to some higher podcasts, right? It's Uncle Roger time today. So just bear me a second. Let me type relaxing time now. And I will open you. Okay, I'm checking my video.
Even I know that.
Okay. I think it's fine. 富有. This is pretty nice. Okay, so let me open. I see the like higher podcast with Joshua Weissman. I will have a look at it. I'm pretty curious. And it's good to see because there is no zero COVID policy anymore. There are some concerts. We have some concerts next year. And I'm so excited about it. I don't mind getting COVID if I go to concerts because I think it's worth it. Okay. Let us see, listen to your higher podcast now. Let me just manage my live stream. Yeah. Just take your time. Feel free to come and go. Take your time. And hope you can recover soon. Really. My sincere wish, right? Take care, wear enough clothes. And just turn on the aircon. Okay, let's listen to this for a while, cause I wanna take a rest.
Mistakenly bad, and he just goes, Jesus Christ! And he's just like, yeah. He's probably getting off the plane and then going to kill a few people. That fart was the breaking point. That's it. Yeah, I'm killing my wife tonight. Oh no.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online, plus it's affordable. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/hire. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/hire. HAIYAA.
Welcome back, nieces and nephews, to Haya Podcast. And today I'm in a special place. I'm in Joshua Weissman's house / studio. Beautiful place, Josh.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. And if you don't know, listeners, Joshua Weissman is a chef and also a big YouTuber and a big YouTube chef. Just all around does great food. I have to say, every time I need to Google a recipe, I would Google that recipe, Joshua Weissman. I'll on YouTube search bar, I'll type pesto, Joshua Weissman. Pad Thai, Joshua Weissman. Adobo, Joshua Weissman, you know? And sometimes when I research videos, I have my researcher, like Adobo, for instance. I have my researcher, of course, but then I also type Adobo, Joshua Weissman to see what you do. Yeah. Because if you get it right, if you get it really right, then I'm like, okay, that's another video to review in the future.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Or so, wrong.
Yes, or wrong. Yeah. Sometimes wrong. Yeah. But you know, most of the time, good instincts and stuff.
I try to be accurate. I appreciate you saying that. I mean, I think a lot of the time I really try to
pride myself in the accuracy of what we do. There are definitely times where we get it wrong, but I think the thing we're always going for is how do we make this a good experience for the person that is cooking? And I feel like a lot of the time in the general space, and when I say general, I mean everything, right? Everything, all of the food networks or Bon Appetits or whatever. And there are websites that I like and use, but the one constant issue that I see is there's usually a mistake or there's usually an inaccuracy. And that's because the way they're writing these recipes is they're writing it either for like a cook or like someone proficient, but they're not writing it for people who don't cook that much. They're not writing it for like mass understanding. And that's what I'm trying to do.
So what's the difference then if you're not writing it for someone who's proficient? How would they?
Personally, I think that the people that are writing the recipes are not good enough to write a recipe like that. You have to be really good.
Shots fired by
truly,
Joshua Weissman.
Truly, right? Like, in my opinion, you have to really understand every single element of what you're doing when you write a recipe in order to truly describe it to someone. It's sort of like the whole thing of you're never truly a master of something unless you can explain it simply. Right, and we've heard that saying many times over, and I think it's the same thing with a recipe. If you can explain it simply in a way that everyone can understand, you've mastered it. Otherwise, they have all these people who like sort of write recipes. Like, dude, I might have been cooking professionally for a decade, but I've been cooking constantly, and when I say constantly, I mean like pretty much every single day for multiple hours on end. This is prior to when I would consider it work because I was a kid, since I was like 4 or 5 years old, like all the way up to now I'm 26, you do the math. I mean, that's a lot of compounding.
What got you into it, the cooking thing? Why did you like it so much? And you're only 26.
Yeah, I know.
Very young, very
baby,
successful.
I know. 26, look 36. So that's what I like to say.
You give off, and we'll cover this in a sec. I want to know what got you into cooking first, but you give off like older person vibes because you had a hard life. You can tell Joshua didn't grow up rich. You know, people who grow up rich, they just give off young vibes longer.
Yeah.
Because maybe their life has been easier and they're more positive with the world because things have always worked out their way.
Yeah.
But before we get into that,
sure. Yeah.
How did you develop that interest in food?
I feel like the majority of my young life, I never was really good at that many things. I wasn't like great at video games. Still not.
Yeah, you shouldn't be great at video games, right?
Sure, but what are the things that you care about when you're like 10 and 11?
Yeah,
you don't have that. You don't have that broad of a viewpoint on the world.
That's before you discovered women, before puberty.
I was also bad at that. So I'll tell you that. I may be engaged. Somehow I worked that out. But anyway, the point is like it was something that I was almost immediately good at. I don't know how. It was just like a natural instinct. And my mom was the one who brought me into the kitchen. She was like, "Oh, do you want to try doing this?" And it was the one safe place where I could fuck around and like do shit that I could hold a knife, I could chop stuff, I could snap stuff in half, I could squish things with my hands. So it was like that one thing where I had power where you don't normally have power as a little kid. You don't know shit. Everyone's like, "Shut the hell up, do your thing."
Yeah.
And so I had power, felt like it, and I was good at it. And so I was like, let me just keep doing this. And there was definitely, I do remember one specific point when I was like, I'll give you a range because obviously I don't remember the exact age, but it could be anywhere between 9 and 10. I had this like epiphany moment because that's the age you start thinking about career. What do I want to do? Oh, what do you want to be when you want to grow up? Do you want to be an astronaut? And I kept thinking like, not only am I good at this, but I think this is like my thing. I think this is like the one thing that I could do every single day and never get tired of it. And I recognized that when I was young and committed to it then.
Sweet. Yeah. Okay. Interesting background, and I get what you're saying about the power thing as a kid. I'm thinking back to myself, and did I want power as a kid? What did I do as a kid?
Not even like, well, not power, but like
climbing
control.
trees and shit.
Like you want to do stuff that adults do. Like you wanted to feel like you had control over your life. As a kid, sometimes you feel like you have to listen to everybody.
But I like that as a kid. I mean, aren't kids supposed? What kid has this thirst for power? You're like a fucked up kid.
I'm like, yeah. I think back. You know what's funny? Actually, I'm getting a flashback to when it was my 16th birthday, and or 15th, one of the two. 16th birthday. I just got my driver's license and everything, and for the party, they're like, they got me gifts, and I was like, I really want something else, and I like told them, I was like, I kind of want like a whole pig. And my mom was like, fuck no. And my dad was like, yeah, hell yeah. And so, fast forward a couple weeks, my mom walks back in and she walks through the door and here's me, 16 kid in the middle of her kitchen with a bone saw in my hand and a whole pig's leg, and I'm like, and like it was like a movie. I like paused when she walked in, and I was like, oh hey, look what Dad got me. And
For your birthday.
yeah,
At 16, people usually want like a PlayStation, you know?
yeah,
They just want a whole hog with the apple in its mouth and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. There was no apple. Its jaw was. I'd already.
You know, that's how Jeffrey Dahmer started, right?
Yeah.
You know?
You know what's funny is I think that could have been a red flag moment, and for some reason they did not question it.
I think they should have just let Jeffrey Dahmer be a chef. That would have saved like a lot of lives of
Potentially,
people.
that's a good point. I feel like maybe it's the one thing that prevented me from becoming a serial killer.
Yeah, you slice up some fish, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I got it out of my system.
Yeah, I got it out of
I'm a
my
normal
system.
human being again.
Yeah.
Let's slice up some hamachi. You
Maybe
know?
not pornography. Yeah,
That gets it out of your system.
yeah. I do really like it when it's like that perfect cut. You know.
Yeah, that's what Jeffrey Dahmer would say too.
is.
Somebody just had to reach out to him, like, Jeffrey, just make a pork chop. Okay, just relax in the human being thing.
Yeah,
you know?
he did the whole cooking thing. You know, I
He
watched.
didn't. He started cooking, but after he got the thirst for killing people, he started cooking the people, right?
Yeah.
But if only we gave like Jeffrey Dahmer like a chef knife and a pan, he would have cooked at home.
He technically did. He technically did have a chef knife. He just didn't use it on the right meat, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched the series. I got 2 episodes in, couldn't watch it.
Why?
Just makes me nauseous.
Why? Because he's gay. Very homophobic, Josh.
So, okay, you know what's funny is you would think that I would not find that grotesque because I've cut up whole hogs, whole cows, and I've seen it all. You know, I've killed things, from a hunting perspective, or like breaking down lobster. I kill lobster live because it's the most humane way. But when I saw the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, I was like, this is too much. Like just the imagination of it and seeing it, I was like, nah.
Nah, killing a black person, no. Killing a white person, sure. you
Oh
know.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I had to kill a lobster when I was filming with Nick, and I didn't like it either. I didn't even like killing a lobster. I don't know if it's one because I wasn't very good at it, so I stabbed the knife into that neck area.
Yeah, the
and
notch.
it was still moving, and then, well, okay, I think they fucked up too. The video is about Nick teaching me how to prepare lobster, right? Nick DiGiovanni, another YouTube chef. So he said how to kill it. Okay, stab it in, pull it down, but it didn't tell me to lift the knife up. So I just stabbed it in, pushed it down, and I just left it there. And I could see a lobster just kind of struggling. And I still don't want to go vegan. I still don't give a shit, but I just felt a little bit bad. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry, lobster.
Sometimes they will continue to move.
So that was a little stressful, man, trying to kill a lobster. And you said they move sometimes too?
So sometimes they do. It really depends on the lobster, obviously. But the way that it should be done, there's 2 ways to do it. You can use a cleaver and cut them clean in half. To me, that's the fastest, surefire way. The notch is the secondary way, which is accurate, but if you've never done it before, you should really be prepared for it. And so a lot of the time what I'll do, did you use like a towel or anything? You just put the knife and that was it?
I don't remember. I think there was a towel because a lot of juices come out.
Yeah,
I
water.
don't remember now, yeah.
There's a water reservoir near their head that contains water, obviously, in their shell. But yeah, so the trick should be the notch is here. The knife should always go, for me personally, about 1/4 of an inch back. You drive it down, and then top of hand and slam it down so it goes all the way through. Then you remove the knife. But at that point, you don't leave it there. You have to immediately, unfortunately, you're disemboweling it, disembowel it. So you have to you do that, you pick it up quickly, tail, claws, remove, ice water, done. Like it has to be fast.
That takes practice, man.
It takes practice. But there have definitely been times where I've disassembled a lobster and I'm like, cool, it's done. And I drop it in the hot water and it's still moving. And I'm like, I've never seen that before. It happens, 1 out of 10 lobsters will do that.
Wow.
It's just the nerve endings. The lobster's dead. It is not alive. It is far from alive, but it's the nerve endings still reacting. Kind of like if you sprinkle salt on a freshly killed piece of fish, it kind of moves a little bit.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's like ionic compounds or whatever, something like I don't honestly
Like
don't remember.
rigor mortis or something.
It's not rigor mortis. It's the nerve endings are still alive. The lobster itself is no longer alive, no longer there. There's no, but the nerve impulses, the electromagnetic pulses that are in the nerves are still active, and salt reacts with it, and it also will react to touch. So my body will naturally do this, but if your brain is no longer there, you're not cognizant, it's just the nerves still doing stuff. Back to Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yes. You couldn't watch that show 2 episodes in. And it's, I really enjoyed it. I watched it all throughout this tour when I was traveling on the planes and on trains and stuff. Bad idea, by the way, because people just kind of look at you weird.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I can't wait to go make people laugh. Let me watch a serial killer.
It's a good show. It's very entertaining. It's shot well. And I have to say, the show lost steam after Jeffrey Dahmer was caught. It's like, come on. I don't care about these victims. I just want to see Dahmer do shit. You know, he's the protagonist of the story.
Protagonist?
Yeah, if you watch Breaking Bad, it's like the anti-hero, right? You watch Breaking Bad, Walter White. Imagine without Breaking Bad without Walter White. It's boring. You want to see the bad guy get away with shit, you know? And Jeffrey's a cool guy, you know? I thought a lot of people like the true crime stuff now. Yeah. You know? And especially women, they love this true crime stuff because they love fantasizing about bad things happening to other women. They do.
It's so funny. My fiance loves true crime.
Of course she does.
But then, of course, whenever I go out of town, she's calling me like, "Hey," and I'm like, "What's up? Are you good? Like it's like 2 p.m. Like, are you at school?" She's like, "I'm at the house and I'm alone and I'm scared." And I'm like, "Wow, maybe you should stop like listening to stories about women being choked to death in their house when they're alone when their husband's away." Like,
I think that's just your fiance checking on you. Make sure you're not at a brothel or something.
Yeah, me at my brothel. Yeah. The only brothel I'm at would be like a place that producing broth. If that was a brothel, you know, like a pho place.
Yes,
that's a brothel.
That's my type of brothel.
That's right.
If that pho place also has like women who have sex with you, that would be perfect. Brothels should have like good food, you know.
Yeah. Here's your mung beans.
Can you imagine? If you want to make sex work non-stigmatized, you should serve some good food there.
That's not a bad idea.
Right? Attach a brothel to a Michelin star. Attach a brothel to a Nobu. And then I'll be there all the time. You have omakase and tits, you know? Love it.
I'm engaged, so I can't comment, but I have a note though.
Sidestepped it
I can imagine it though. You know, they're like, "Oh, sorry, did you wanted lime and mung bean sprouts? Here are your mung bean sprouts. Also, would you like some asshole?" Yeah. It's like, what do they just throw that in like a side dish or like?
Why? It's weird how the first thing you go to is asshole. I would go with like blowjobs, you know, or hand jobs.
I've never been to a brothel. You're gonna have to inform me.
Oh, you don't really have those in America, do you?
No.
Yeah, you have to go to Amsterdam and check out the red light district.
I've been to Amsterdam.
Yeah, what do you think? Did you go with your fiance, with Kate?
I did not, no. But I also did not go to any brothels.
Oh,
I did go to the red light district for like 30 minutes. It was cool. It's whatever. It was a little weird. I didn't know how to feel about it. I mean, for the most part, it was a lot more chill than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like people running rampant. It was just like there are red lights and there's a few women in the window. All right, cool. This is kind of the women in the window thing. I was like, don't look me in the eye. And so I moved on from that. There was one place though, the Condomery. Have you seen that place?
Oh, the Condomery. I've heard of it. The Condomery. Okay.
Condomery, the
What is it about?
Condomery. It's literally just like hundreds of different condoms that make your wee-wee look like whatever you want. There was one that looked like Godzilla. There was one that looked like the Weenie Hut Jr., not Weenie Hut Jr., the Wiener Schnitzel logo. All sorts of options.
I want that. I need that. I need a condom to make my dick look like, you know, like nice.
Yeah. Oh, is it not, what's the description of it?
I think it can be better.
Yeah.
You know, I think it can look, you want a dick that commands respect.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't want a dick that's like you know the Chilean miners after they just escape, or the Thai football team after they just escape the cave, they're like anemic and just you know, you don't want a dick that sputters.
Are you saying that's what
you want a dick that's like just you know?
Yeah.
Like fucking
Now we all
Hitler's speech.
Imagine that in your mind. That's Nigel.
You want a dick that when women pull it down, they're like, oh.
Yeah.
You know? Hello to you.
What's the usual reaction that you would get?
They're like, "Aww."
Or they start crying.
No. It's decent. It gets the job done.
Okay, there you go.
You know, it's no porno dick.
Yeah.
You know, it's not good enough to appear in a porno. Sometimes
Well, apparently
it's a bit personal, but you know, fuck it. Sometimes I film people going down on me, and it's like, it's good. But the dick I wish my dick was a bit more porno looking.
You know, you don't have. You're a comedian. You're working in a different sector. You're fine. But all I know is the one story that you've given me, which is the person who literally chose their mortgage over you. Okay, so that tells me enough. You could skip everything you just told me, and I have all the
Yeah.
information I need.
Joshua listens to the podcast, and no, you don't. I just told him the story. If you don't know the story, just listen to the previous episode. Yeah. So what about it? You
Has she
said
texted you back yet?
nope. Nope.
That's not
I don't
good.
know what to say.
That's a bad
Leave it
sign.
in there. Yeah.
That's a bad sign.
No. Yeah. People choose paying down their mortgage over hanging out with me, so that's a little bit sad.
Yeah.
But if only I had that porn star dick.
Hey, I don't need you to have a porn star dick for me to hang out with you.
Oh, thank you.
I know.
It's very nice.
We're very
Joshua.
heartfelt here, so.
It's a good podcast. There's a lot of bromance going on.
Yeah.
And then we just finished filming 2 videos. One for your channel, which is you teaching Uncle Roger how to run a restaurant.
Yeah, you did good.
Thank you.
Surprisingly good.
My chopping was all right.
Yeah,
I just
didn't
had to spend some time, like you were doing it like a machine, but I had to really, really focus, and I still only got like maybe 70% of the way.
Yeah,
there.
still, that. I think 70% is more than most could say.
Oh,
so it's a way
thank
above
you.
average. Also, like speed is something that I think doesn't necessarily usually come with. I think it's funny. People associate speed with skill, but oftentimes speed is associated with repetition. I've done it a million times.
Yeah, but repetition is skill too, though.
True.
Yeah, so your knife work just beautiful. So thanks for teaching me. But I film these videos, right? I pick up a thing or two too because I know a lot of the theory. I have to Google like how to chop certain things, and I see how they chop, and then I can picture it in my head. I just don't know how to do it in practice.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say your skill set is, if I were to like compare it, I would say you're in 100% being like way like pro level, and then 0% being like has never cooked before in terms of like a normal person or a non-professional chef, whatever. I think you're like at a 65, potentially even 70%. You're
not
way
bad.
above average. Way above average.
Thank you. And I just talk shit, listeners. Right? That's what
So
I
you
do.
should know this.
You pick up a few things along the way when you talk shit. You mainly learn what not to do.
Yeah, it's kind of like the theory of you learn by teaching. You know, have you ever felt that way where you teach somebody something that you understand, but somehow by teaching it, you understand it even more?
No, I learned by watching Jamie Oliver because you learn what not to do. It's very easy.
I feel so bad for him, kind of. You know what I mean? Like when I was a kid,
I mean, don't feel too bad for him. He's the king of UK cookbook sales. Every year he comes with a new cookbook, sells millions.
Really?
Maybe not millions. I don't exactly know how much he
okay.
sells, but
All
he
right.
makes a lot of money. Lives in a nice big house in the UK. Let's not feel too bad.
Yeah.
for Jamie
Okay,
Oliver.
that's fair. That's fair. You're right. Okay.
Yes. And it's my second time in Houston. I was here 6 months ago.
I remember.
right?
I was surprised you'd circle back so quickly. That's
I know.
so much.
I don't want to be here either.
You're telling me I'm trying to get the hell out of here right now. Oh, look, I mean, like,
Oh.
Houston's great. I prefer Austin. It's my own taste. But my mom's from Houston, so I have a special place in my heart here. No matter what, as much shit as I talk about Houston, my mom's from here. So
Well, I've done Houston 6 months ago, and I think we sold quite well here ticket wise.
it's awesome.
So Live Nation my tour company just put on another show in Houston, and I'm like, I've done it already, guys.
Yeah.
But when I said that, it was already too late. They already put it on sale. So here I am again, people, just for you guys. Right after this, we filmed 2 videos today.
Sounds so grateful right now.
Well, we have to film 3 videos today, and then have to go do a show and talk for an hour and a half on
Yeah.
stage, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But you will, you know what? You're gonna get that going to bed feeling productive, and I love that feeling personally. So maybe there's a benefit there.
No, I like the feeling going to bed feeling, that was a chill day. Didn't do shit. I already took a nap. I don't know why I'm in bed right now.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
I miss that feeling, Are you productive every day? You work every day?
I do work every day. Yeah, I would say probably for the past decade, at least. Like the past
Jesus,
10
man.
years, I've worked every single day, anywhere from minimum like 10 hours, but usually it's like 14 to 16 hours, I would say. I find time in between. Obviously, there's some discrepancies in that statement, though. Of course, during I don't know, Thanksgiving Day, I'm probably going to spend the majority of my day with my family. But sometimes I'll like stay up until 3 a.m. to get an extra 4 or 5 hours of something in. I'm not counting my hours. I just find myself doing it. I don't know.
But every day?
Every day.
For the last 10 years?
Pretty much,
Were
yeah.
you a YouTuber for 10 years now? Or
No, but the restaurant industry kind of bred it into me.
So you always worked in food?
Yes. Yeah,
And
always
you-
worked in food.
Because I can tell you didn't grow up with a lot of money. No offense. But you can tell with some people.
The short answer is no. But, in the early stages of my growing up, we lived in LA, and there was a small part of my life where we sort of had money, and then there was an economical stuff that happened, and then we didn't. And this happened when I was really young. I was like maybe 7.
What was the economical stuff? The dot-com bubble?
No, I think
Well, you wouldn't have been born.
I honestly
back
don't
then.
know. I don't remember. It was whenever the stock market crashed, like bad.
Okay.
And
Dot-com bubble there. I think that's it.
yeah, that might have been .com bubble, and then there was no, it wasn't the house. Yeah, it was the .com bubble. I'm pretty sure. And so then I was really young. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Just
remember.
suddenly thought, Mom, why are we eating McDonald's every day now? We used to be good to Michelin star restaurants.
It wasn't that bad. It was just like to the point where we had moved to Houston, and I was used to living in LA.
Yeah.
And
What a step down, huh?
yeah, nice weather every day, and then all of a sudden I was like, why is it like rainy and cold, and people are angry and saying racial slurs out loud?
Yeah.
And why is it not okay that Ricky likes boys? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Why is Mom always going out at night and coming back home in the morning?
yeah.
What's she doing?
That it was kind of like at a point where I knew something was up, but I also was a kid, so I didn't really think that deeply into it. But I don't know, I never felt bad about it. It just was like, whatever. And we'd never had a bad life per se, but when I moved out, I went straight into restaurants. So it definitely didn't get better from there. It got worse. And restaurants, I think the most I ever got paid working in restaurants was like $11 an hour. And that was when I was like at a high level.
But in the US, you make tips though, right?
No,
No?
no.
Well, you don't get the tips?
Not if you're cooking, no.
Oh,
It's
shit.
very rare. It's very, very rare you get tips as a cook.
Oh,
or chef.
fuck. Yeah, 11 an hour is not, it's not a lot, man. Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard life.
It's even if you're working a lot of hours, you're still like struggling. But I was also trying to do other stuff, and my fiance used to help me pay rent, which is why she's my fiance now.
That's great. Did you get a predup? You get a prenup?
That's
Always get a prenup, guys. Take
know.
it from me, a divorced person.
yeah. She's a lawyer.
Oh, good luck. Good
No,
luck.
she's amazing. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, I think it's a thing that everyone should do in general, but it's also up to the person's taste of what they think they want to do, whatever they think is best. But everyone recommends it. Lawyers recommend it. Most married couples recommend it.
You should do it. You should draft it up for free.
She'll draft it up for me.
Yeah, what kind of law does she practice?
She hasn't graduated fully yet. She is about to take the bar, so she's
okay.
like in law school technically, but
Fingers crossed.
she's gonna do well.
She could cook.
yeah.
I seen that video where you challenge her. You guys cook together.
She's better than she says she is. That's what I'll say. She's definitely better than she says she is. But sometimes she jokes every once in a while about being a stay-at-home mom. I'm like, that's cool with me. And she's like, fuck no. She comes from a long line of like hardworking, her mom's a lawyer. Her mom's like one of the top women lawyers in like Texas.
Wow.
Super hardcore, very intelligent. And same thing with like her sister-in-law, and her brother's not a lawyer, but he owns a business. So it's kind of like this family dynamic. She feels that intensity.
When I mentioned prenup, I was thinking a few weeks ago I was in Miami, right? And then we met this couple. Me and my producer were just hanging out by the pool. We met this couple from Chicago. They got married already, and I was like, "Did you get a prenup?" And it just made them so uncomfortable. They're like, "Oh, what?" So is this why? Is that a common thing to be uncomfortable when you bring up money?
I think people are really illogical in general, and most people are, let's be honest, emotionally and intentionally, most people are inept. And so I think when you ask somebody a question like that, they immediately go, oh, if you're getting a prenup, that means you don't love that person, or you're planning to separate from that person, or you're not truly in it for that person. But the reality is, like, there's too many stories of things that you've never seen before, things that just get fucked up that you were never expecting. Like,
yeah. And sometimes you want to be the person for their money. It's fine. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a good arrangement to have. Who needs love? Just love your family, love your parents, your cousin, whatever. You get with a woman from a good family, get their money. That's good.
What I will say is Kate was with me way before we ever had any amount of money. If anything, she had more money than I did for pretty much our entire relationship.
She was paying your rent.
She was paying my rent.
That's good. That's
So
how you know a dick game's strong.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your dick game so good, your woman pays your rent for you. Wow.
For months.
Months. Nice.
It's love, you know.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Are you ever having one of those days where you wish that life came with a user manual? You know, you're there, or home in Hawaii, kind of impossible happen. Thinking, keeping up.
When you sort of have that like back up against the wall, there's no safety net. Anything you do could lead you to ruin, and there's no way back. There's nobody to save you, right? And so I think there's a leading light to that creates your own safety nets. And if you're strong enough to make movement around that, if you're strong enough to do that with the things that you love and just to remain focused on things that you're passionate about, instead of just making decisions based off money, like, oh, I can go and do advertising and make a lot of money. I can go and work as this office job, do copywriting and make $100K a year. It's like, I'd rather just do something that I want to do because I don't give a fuck. I want to be happy and I want to be happy with what I'm doing. But
yeah.
Speaking of money.
Yes.
Water.
So
we
what
had this
about
conversation.
Water? Yes. You're a water connoisseur.
I'm a water connoisseur.
You know?
So just because, there may not be a variety of wealth that I come from, per se, I'm a huge stickler for water. Obviously food, right? Because that's my thing. But the taste is a universal thing.
You can tell the differences of types of water?
By a lot, yeah. I literally will not drink purified water. If I cannot find spring water, I will not drink water until I find spring water.
Well, you're gonna die of thirst one day. I got to the restaurant before you yesterday, so I sat down and the waitress asked, "What water do you like? Sparkling, still?" I just said tap. Was that a wrong move for you?
I knew it. I knew it. I could tell.
Really?
Because remember I said I think it's the ice, but I don't know. But my first thought was like, this does not taste good. This is definitely, there's something tap. It's either the ice that's tap or it's the water that's tap. But once you put ice in it, you can't tell because the ice flavors the water. So for example, if you leave ice in a fucking freezer with a bunch of shit in it, and you know that freezer taste, and you drink it and you're like, why does this taste like the freezer? The fucking ice. It's steeping in there like a tea of shit.
So when you go to a restaurant, you just get bottled water.
If I can, or like Aquapana, Evian, whatever they have, Fiji, anything that's spring water. I don't care where it comes from. There are better ones than the other, but I do not like purified water. It just makes me think that I'm drinking like purified poop water.
No, it's not. It's clean. I've been drinking it all my life. Not all my life. In Malaysia, you can't drink the tap water. So when I moved to the US, I was like, oh shit, this is new. This is convenient. In Malaysia, you want to drink the water, you have to install some sort of water filtration system or some sort of like, just go to the store to buy water all the time or boil the water beforehand. It's so annoying. Yeah. Over here, you just randomly, oh, I can drink this and not shit myself. That's good. It's very good. And
I guess you're right.
Meanwhile, Joshua Weissman's here like, oh, I only drink water from a bottle.
I know, it's
only a glass bottle.
Well, it doesn't have to be from a bottle. I just don't want it to be from, I can't do purified water, man. It's so bad. If I go to a hotel, like if I go to a nice hotel that's expensive and they have pure, like for example, that water that we drank today, that's purified. I drank, just to prove to you, I did drink 2 bottles of that because I was very thirsty. But that's again, I hated every second of it. The point is, if I go to an expensive hotel, you know, like the ones that are like $500 a night or more, and I open up the door and there's fucking purified Nestle fucking water, that place is on my shit list forever.
What would you do? Would you call downstairs and ask them, do you have Fiji water?
I'll call and ask, do you guys have spring water? And if they don't, I'll be like, all right, cool, no worries, thank you. I'm not gonna be a dick, but
to be fair, you should have standards when it comes to food, right? Especially if you work in the food world. I work in the food world, sort of comedy/food world, whatever. Yeah. But life is too short for shitty water you don't like.
Think about it like this. Wine. You're 70% water. So if people want to talk about eating healthy, I think you should start with picking water to be the best.
I don't know about that. I think water is water. Really? I think it's personal preference. I don't think drinking purified water makes you less healthy, you know. But hey, preference is good.
We're gonna start doing blood work. We should exchange blood work. No, I'm fucking with you.
My blood work
literally
sucks,
have no idea.
Man. High cholesterol. Blood sugar is a bit high as well. Diabetes runs in the family. It's a very common thing in Asia,
really?
Asian people. Yeah.
I did not know that.
we're all born different, you know. We're not all one human race. We're all different, and we should
Is this your segue into a racist conversation?
It's not. I'm not saying one race is better than the other. I'm saying some segregation is good because we're not supposed to eat everybody else's food, you know?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, some people need more sunscreen than other people. If you live among other white people only, then you'll notice, you'll be like, oh shit, we burn so easily. But if you live in a multicultural society, you have your Indian friends, you have your black friends, right? Then they don't sunburn and don't tell you to put sunscreen on, and then you die from skin cancer. So you see what segregation why it can be a positive sometimes, like a tiny amount.
I'm 100% outside this conversation. You're in this sector, and I'm like over here.
Put it this way, okay? You grew up in a diverse culture as an Asian person, and then you think you're normal, whatever. But then once in a while you meet a group of friends who are all just Asians, and then you can talk about your Asian problems. Like, you know about this thing, Asian flush? Some Asian people, we don't have the enzyme to break down alcohol, so we drink a little bit of alcohol, our whole face turns red.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's a real thing, see? And you
Holy
only
fuck.
discovered this. Imagine if you're an Asian kid who grew up in a multicultural place, and you realize, what must my face turn red? It must be the weird one. It must be so weird and abnormal, and something's wrong with me. Until you hang out with other Asian people, you're like, oh, it's normal. We just have a higher probability of not having that enzyme, you know? So I think once in a while, it's good to segregate yourself. Like one day a month, you should only hang out with people of your own race.
I think I already have enough of that problem.
What do you mean?
There's white people everywhere in the United States.
That's true.
Most of the time when I'm in the room, it's only white people, and I'm like,
But you have a very diverse cast of workers who work for you.
we hire based off of what people can do.
Yeah, and they can only be men. Because
Well, we have one woman,
oh shit.
and everybody listens to her. Everybody's afraid of her.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I think I met her last time I was
Yeah,
here.
she's great. She's hardcore. She's awesome.
I always do this so people can know my podcast via Vikram, Kendrick, Ulysses. Yes, hello everyone. See? Joshua Weissman, very diverse guy, very diverse dude. But I'm saying there is some benefit to segregation.
Yeah.
But the problem in society these days is how do you balance that, you know? Segregated countries is mostly white people, or like Japan, mostly Japanese people, low crime rates, cheap houses, you know? There's just, I don't know. I'm not making any policy decisions here. I'm just stating some stuff. Sweden, all white, terrible place to be. I hated that place.
I heard Sweden is very racist.
Yeah, it's very racist because they just don't need to be non-racist. Everybody's white. They haven't learned that it's wrong yet. Everybody's white. They just chill out. They're all beautiful,
Yeah.
tall, beautiful people, and just hang out amongst themselves. They eat their salmon. A lot of them are pescatarians.
Ugh.
Oh,
And they have
terrible.
no sunlight or something like that, right?
oh, it's a horrible place. Like 3:30, the sun goes down.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
It's also expensive to go there. I want to go to Sweden. Everyone says I should go, but I'm just like, eh.
I'm just saying you should enjoy your life and drink the water you want to drink and eat the food you want to eat. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. No segregation. It's all one human race. Yada yada yada. We're all the same. We all.
The only thing that I would say, that my takeaway from that statement is, if you're drinking purified water, you should just fucking stop. Please. Like, just spend the extra 35 to 85 cents. I know that is a privileged as fuck thing to say. But if you can, spend the extra 35 to 75 cents to just get a bottle of spring water.
I agree. It's the same way how you know, even when you I fly a lot these days, right? And then the food, because you care about water and you care about food as well. That's why I hate flying, because you can't really care about food if you're flying. You know, if I see that I'm supposed to take a flight today, I know the whole day I'll be eating shit food until I land at that city that I'm flying to.
Yeah.
You wake up, you check in at the airport, and now you're stuck at the airport for an hour and a half eating the airport food. Have you ever had good airport food? It's terrible. They can fuck up eggs in an airport.
Well, they fuck up everything. Here's the thing. I don't want to, if I'm going on a plane, if I'm in an aircraft, in the air, do not serve, I don't want to eat eggs out of a tin.
No.
I don't, first off, where the fuck did that come from? Second off, even if it was pre-cooked, whatever, frittata style, whatever, it's been sitting there in its own frozen ass juices, and then it's like blasted in a microwave, which I'm just kind of like, I'm good. I am good. There's just not a lot of scenarios where it's any good.
no matter how much you spend on a plane ticket, it's still fucking microwaved, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's still heated up in some stuff.
As far as I know, you can't-
economy, business, first, whatever. And then they come up with you to pretend like, oh, do you want what main option do you want? You know,
Main.
do you want the microwave option 1 or microwave option 2? It's the saddest thing. Flying is so depressing and grim. And when these influencers post their plane tickets, a view outside the window, oh, flying business class to Dubai or wherever, I'm like, it's depressing, man. Who's celebrating this shit?
Yeah. I saw a video of someone who was eating the first class, like 30,000 whatever flight to Dubai. And I was looking at, and like it's plated and they get their fucking little tin of caviar that's been sitting at the improper temperature for far too long. And it's sort of like they're trying to create the illusion of luxury. I would love to try it because I've never had it before, but from my understanding, how are they cooking that, right? Are they cooking it or is it just microwave?
Do you have to cook caviar? You don't
No,
have to
no,
cook
not the caviar. Sorry, the meat, like where they course it out on like these really expensive first class flights to like
don't
Dubai.
know. I've never seen a wok on a first class on any flight.
Definitely
so
cannot put that on a plane.
I think
I was
you
going
should.
to take the walk to Poland.
Hey.
I literally no. We had this conversation. Vikram and I had this conversation when the walk to, you know, the little
the
Yachty
song,
song.
yeah.
When that came out, my first thought was like, we have a flight to catch next week. What if I take a walk with me to the airport and I walk all the way to the international side to wherever the next flight to Poland is, and I just hold the walk up?
Why can't you have like a gas stove on a plane? It's not like you're gonna burn the plane down.
I feel
Right?
like there's got to be.
You have
there's
gas
some
stoves
sort of
in restaurants. Yeah, you never burn the restaurant down.
Yeah, but you're in like a
Right?
pressurized tube in like how many feet in the air? Like
I'm just saying that would
30,000
make
feet in the
if planes had like maybe a gym, a proper restaurant with a walk, and you can sit down, right? What's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, a bit of turbulence and then the fire gets all over the place. Get a fire extinguisher.
yeah.
I mean, make the experience so much better for everybody.
I like your practicality. I feel like there's some sort of explosive element to the fact of like lighting gas and then lighting it in a pressurized tube.
but isn't good food worth it?
But you could
risk.
do an induction.
Induction. Okay, fine. I can.
It's better than microwaving.
Yes, I can compromise.
Yeah.
When it's on a plane, you can use an induction stove and cook shit.
There's also induction like wok burners that are like that have like an internal basin that your wok like gets placed into, so it heats the whole underside of the wok. And
Yeah.
I've never used one, but I've heard they work well. Never used one though.
I just want to see someone cooking because I think even if you're flying business or first, the food still comes from an aluminum tin. It's just that they put it on a plate before serving it to you if it's on business. If it's economy, then it just comes in an aluminum tin, and then you just open the tin and you eat, you know, like a little
Like a dog.
poverty bento box, right?
But you paid $1,000 for the ticket though.
I know. I traveled too much this year, man. I think I'm complaining about it.
Yeah, how much have you spent on tickets this year?
I don't know. They just take it out of my tourist settlement. I don't look at it. I don't want to because
He's just like covering his eyes, like I don't want to.
there's no way to win. You spend a lot to make your life comfortable, and you make less money from the tour.
Yeah,
But if you want to skimp on the flying, and then you're miserable the whole journey. You know, flying economy, just squash next to the person
yeah.
on the
They're
way here.
farting.
Oh, they're farting. They take the armrest.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'll be honest. I'm the one that's usually farting.
why are you farting on a plane?
What am I supposed to do? Like hold it for
Yeah,
5 hours?
Just go to the bathroom.
Well,
Reconsider.
yeah, I do.
Unless you can only fart. You're only allowed to fart if you have like a first class ticket. You have
Yeah.
your own little room,
Yeah.
and then you just fart
Well,
in
you have,
first.
You have one neighbor sometimes where it's 1 and 2.
Yeah. Oh God, you're one of those.
There was just this one flight where it was, it was particularly bad, and I forgot where we ate. We were in some city. We just ate terribly, and on the way back, it was like, it was a problem. I can't get up to go fart in the bathroom 20 times in a flight. So, I let it go a few times.
What are you eating that makes you fart so much? Protein shakes?
No, we were on a trip. I don't remember. We just ate out a lot.
Okay.
And it was like not good food. Tasted good, but it was just like not good food, not good for you. And I remember after like 4 or 5 times throughout this flight, the guy behind me just starts like, I can just tell he's irritated. Even though he's behind me, I can just tell he's just like, and I'm like, what the fuck is this dude's problem? And then I let one out, and it was painstakingly bad. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh no, wait, this guy's gonna get all pissed off at me if he figures out it's me. And he just goes, Jesus Christ! And he just like, yeah, he just like yells out loud, and it was so fucking funny.
He knows it's
yeah.
you.
Yeah, he did.
He knows it's you.
It was me.
Did you talk to him after?
No.
Hey man.
He was
what's
pissed
your
off when he
problem?
got off
What's
the
your
plane.
problem, bro?
Even 2 hours later, he was still angry. He like shoved past me and walked off the plane. It's just the whole like, Jesus Christ! It's just the I can still hear his voice ringing in my ears.
Yeah, he's probably getting off the plane and then going to kill a few people
Yeah.
to get it out of the system.
Yeah.
You know. So you
Well, have we circled back to Jeffrey Dahmer?
No, I wasn't. I mean, there are more murderers than just him, but I think that's what he was gonna do. You got him at his breaking point.
Yeah.
That fart was the breaking point. You know, that one you let ripped on the United Airlines flight or whatever airline you fly. Just
It ripped.
and he's like, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm killing my wife tonight.
Oh no.
Putting her in the boot. Putting her in the trunk. Sorry, we're in America right now. Putting her in the trunk. Because Joshua Weissman fucking farted in my face.
It ripped, and then it ripped his will to live. That's what it was.
It's all you. You facilitated a murder.
He made a decision that I had no part in, that he couldn't handle the heat. That's what it is. Some people can't handle the heat. And I think that's kind of the overarching topic of what we've talked about this entire podcast.
Handling the heat.
Handling the heat.
I don't know if I can handle the heat anymore, man. Ever since I've gotten to my 30s, I just don't want to. Some days I wake up and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to work
Why
today.
are you nodding, man? You're the one that I need to be productive. Why are you nodding? You can't be nodding about this.
You gotta give them some holidays. Do you get them? You give them vacation days?
We get vacation days.
I don't. Is it a YouTuber thing or is it a you thing or is it an American thing? But you guys work so much. I initially wanted to move to LA and then see how much you work, how much Guga works, all the YouTubers I collab with, how hard they work. I'm like, maybe being in the UK is good, you know?
UK is particularly different than I feel like UK and a lot of Europe, depending on where you're from, is different. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's like a cultural thing.
Yeah.
But also,
You guys barely get any holidays here.
But I don't know. There's less. I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of layers to that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
One is cultural. One is like there are more things that we have to work for in order to compensate for things that we don't have that y'all might have from
like healthcare.
healthcare. Sure, yeah, paying for the healthcare rather. Yeah. But I also think it's like the fact that America is more consumer centric and more like capitalistic. So
Yes.
it's not. I'm not saying it's all about money, but I am saying like in order to stay ahead, because everybody else is fighting at that level, you should also be fighting at that level. But for me personally, I mean, I've always been like that, and it wasn't really. It's not like I have. I mean, of course, there's a driving force behind it, but I mean, it's not like I'm in America. I need to work hard. It's just how I've always been. For me personally, but I don't know. What do you think? Why do you think?
I think that's part of the capitalistic nature of this country. I mean, every country is capitalist to some extent, right? But America maybe a bit more. And I feel the difference between having money and not having money here, the quality of life difference is huge. Whereas the difference in Europe, I mean, Europe's an extreme example, but in the UK, you can be very wealthy or very poor. The difference in the quality of life is a little smaller.
Yeah. There's
So
big
people have
differences
less,
here.
Yeah, people have a little less motivation to work as hard. I'm like considered the hardest working one in the UK among my peers and like my podcast producer. I bitch about him, Matt. You know this. He goes to too many music festivals and I complain about it. In a funny way, I complain about it on the podcast. But then after being here a while, I'm like, oh shit, I'm the lazy one. Americans look at me like how I look at my podcast producer. It's the same difference.
So I feel like, because the way that I operate is 100% goal oriented. I'm not like just thinking about money or thinking that I need to work hard in order to get the things, in order to get money or something. It's that I have a very specific goal and a vision of the things that I want. And I'm not gonna bullshit myself and say that if I don't work my ass off or oh, I can take this day off or whatever. I'm just so like viscerally aware of the fact that like the things that I want to achieve for myself, for our team, for all of us collectively, is going to require an immeasurable amount of work, and there's never going to be a person that can step aside and say, oh, well, it's okay if I take this day, this day, this day, this day, this day, because I know what I'm asking for, and I'm just trying to be fair to the request.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm asking for a lot, and so I'm trying to give out a lot, if that makes sense. And that's how I feel about it. And so I think maybe more people, I don't know about the American aspect, but that's how I approach it. That being said, though, because I do love working hard, but I will tell you that I went to Iowa, and I've never in my life been in a scenario in another city where I'm traveling and getting work done and doing this and doing that, where I was like, I just want to go the fuck to bed. And I've never felt
Why
that
did you go to Iowa? What is there in Iowa?
Honestly, when I got there, it just felt like Houston minus 100. And that's,
I mean,
that's fucking
all of the American Midwest except Chicago is shit. You know, I had to do Minneapolis, I had to do Detroit.
I've never seen some shit like this before. So, well, I went to Iowa State University to speak, which I had an incredible time. The people were amazing. They were super sweet. They were very supportive. The crowd was awesome. There was a much bigger crowd than I expected. It was at 11 p.m. at a college on a Friday.
It's
It was
college.
on Friday, right?
That's when they're about to wake up.
It was on a Thursday. Thursday at 11 p.m. at a college, and we had a booked house, full house. Was someone farting right now? And so, long story short, we went there and had a great time. Now, Iowa is much less inhabited than I thought. So we got there, we did our thing, and then we had to leave early in the morning. Our flight boarded at 5:30 in the morning. So we finished the talk and got back to the Airbnb at like 12:50. So almost 1 in the morning. So that means I have to get up at like 3:30.
Okay.
So like 2 hours of sleep. I got to the hotel. I actually ordered food because I was fucking starving. And so I waited for it. After an hour, now it's 2 in the morning. They never found a person to pick it up.
Oh
And
my
I was
God.
like, and my thought was like, oh shit. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine because when I get up at 3 and we leave around 4:30-ish, we were 45 minutes from the airport, but there were no people there, so it's whatever. We get up, I order an Uber. Ulysses orders an Uber. We're sitting there waiting and no Ubers. So then we try Lyft. Now both of us are trying Lyft and Uber on both of our phones at the same time. Absolutely nothing after 30 fucking minutes. And we're like, this is bad. So then we start looking for car services, fucking limousine services, anything. Every single one of them didn't open until 9 in the morning on a Thursday. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of city is this? This was, by the way, this is not in Des Moines. This is in Ames, which is a smaller city, 45 minutes north of Des Moines, which is in the major city of Iowa. So then I was like, what the fuck? So that means that there were no Ubers in Des Moines. Sorry, I keep saying Des Moines.
Yeah.
Des Moines or Ames, and it was just straight dead. And so we were calling. I was at the point. It was so bad. It was so bad, and I needed to get back for a shoot. And if I didn't get back for the shoot, it would have fucked the schedule. It was so bad that I was looking for a private jet to fly back to the city. I'm serious. You can ask Ulysses. I was calling private jet
from Ames to Des Moines.
From Des Moines to Houston. Because my thought was we can find a car later, but we can't miss our flight. Because if we miss our flight, we gotta wait like 5 hours for the next flight.
Yeah.
But if I get a private jet, we can be an hour or two late and get a flight because it'll wait for us.
Yeah.
So tried to find a private jet. There were no private jets in Des Moines.
Yeah,
And,
like if you have money, why would you fly to Des Moines? You know, if you have money enough to afford a private jet. You're going to Ibiza, you're going to LA, New York, wherever.
I want to point out that I've never flown in a private jet before.
I mean, you give off the vibe that you fly in it all the time, you know.
How? How?
That's the car you drive, the watches you wear. That's how I can tell it didn't grow with money. Because a little bit of showiness, you know. You finally have the money. Let's wear this shit.
Hey, at least I keep it in my pants though. You know what I mean? I could be hanging that out. No,
Yeah, that's good. Child support is a bitch.
yeah.
Not that I'm paying any, so that's good.
Yeah, are you?
No. Well, not yet. Might
yet.
happen in the future.
If you're lucky. In your career style, we've seen a lot in the comedy world.
Yes.
You could
Fingers
be that
crossed.
guy.
All right. So you found a private jet. You didn't find a private jet.
Long story short, we did not find a private jet. I'm glad because they were way more expensive than I thought they would be, and I don't think I want to deal with that. And we missed our flight on purpose. We canceled the flight. We did not get to. We were supposed to be at the airport by 5:30 in the morning. We did not get to the airport until almost 9 in the morning. We got to the airport, and there was not a fucking person there. No employees. There was nobody at the kiosk. When I say the whole airport was empty, at 9 in the morning, the whole airport was empty. There was no one there on Thursday.
Aren't you glad your parents didn't move to Des Moines after you lost all your money in LA? Aren't you glad they moved to Houston instead?
I think I would have been depressed.
Yeah. You wouldn't have been where you are today, I think. So,
Yeah.
Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Joshua Weissman. Go
Me
follow
having
him.
you having me.
Oh yeah, well,
This is
that's
your
what matters.
show.
2 ways, goes both ways.
Yeah.
And go subscribe to him on YouTube. Go follow him on Instagram. All the links in the description. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course.
I'm gonna go rush off and do my show now.
Yeah, good luck. You're gonna do great.
We'll see. I'm tired, man.
Yeah.
I'm tired, but I gotta put on a good show.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you, man.
Of course. Thank you.
See you.
Wait, he's going to the show before. Oh my god, he's so busy. I think I might listen to another one, cause I still want to. I think I might find out something to eat and listen to this, and chill for a while, and then I will start to do another video edition. Yeah, Saturday is all about work. Adventure in Miami. I
Shout out
would
to our
listen to
sponsor,
this.
ExpressVPN. One of the best ways to keep your online
Woo!
browsing activity private is by using ExpressVPN. So secure your family's online activity and unlock tons of new shows by visiting expressvpn.com/haya. Use my link and you can get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/HAIYAA. expressvpn.com/haya to learn more. Welcome to Haya Podcast. Producer Matt and I are in Miami today. Very exciting. And I just got rejected by a woman in the most hilarious / humiliating way
Tragic.
possible. Tragic. Not in Miami, but
No.
somewhere else. So a little bit of context, right? This tour has been a lot, and I met this person. We're not gonna reveal where she lives, personal information. We don't do that on this pod.
She knows who she is.
Yeah, she knows. She's not gonna listen to this. So I met this woman on tour, and then I was like, okay, and I had a few days off in a certain city, so I was like, okay, let me go back to this city to see you. And I usually don't add extra flights and change my tour schedule for people.
You were putting in the legwork.
Yeah, I was putting the effort in. So we hung out, again, and it was all good when we hung out. And then my next time I get a break is in Hawaii, but that's too far. But then the next break I have is like in New York, so I have a few days there, right? So we're planning. She was telling me, yeah, I'll come to New York. Initially, she was saying that, but then a few days ago, I talked to her on the phone, and then she was like, yeah, I'm kind of having doubts about New York. I don't know if I want to go. And I was like, why? And then she said, because New York is very expensive, and I'd rather use that money to pay down my mortgage. So that's why. That's how I was rejected, people. You think you got it bad. Just not even because I can't afford my mortgage.
Yeah.
Right? That I understand. Because if you come to New York, you'll be homeless. I don't want to do that to you. She wants to make overpayments to her mortgage. She'd rather pay down her principal on her flat, on her apartment, than come to New York to hang out with me for 4 days. I'm not asking her to move to New York. Just like 3 days, 4 days. No, I'd rather pay down my mortgage.
I think that's the first time a trip's been turned down to New York for that. And probably the first time someone's like broke something off because of that as well. It's crazy.
A mortgage, yeah. Have you ever had this, listeners?
Yeah.
Just say you're not that into me. Just lie sometimes. Just lie. Men or women. Don't say what you're thinking all the time. I'm losing to Chase Bank's mortgage. Okay? It sucks. Just say, oh, I don't feel the spark. What happened to that? Nice and easy.
Or just, I don't want to do it. Literally, just not even the spark. Just forget the bullshit. Just say, like, no, I'm okay. It's not for me. We had fun, but, like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Also, and this place, the city she's in, is not that far from New York. Okay? It's less than, we don't want to give too much away, less than 4 hours. Let's put it that way. Less than a 4-hour flight.
We should get the listeners to, like, in the comments and reviews, just be, like, guessing where it is.
I mean, if they're fans of me and they see my Insta stories, they know. They know. But we're not going to reveal all the info because I'm a good person, Losing out to a mortgage. My God.
It's honestly, it's so absurd. It's the first time I've ever heard something like that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I can't come see you in New York because I'm saving up for a Chanel handbag, a Chanel purse.
That's exciting. That's something exciting to save up
Why
for.
do you want to pay down your mortgage so quickly? Why? What's the benefit? And then you pay it off, and then what? Just sit at home, just twiddling your thumbs. Okay, great. I own this whole thing now. Nothing changes in your life when you pay off the mortgage. You know that, right? Just sitting there. Now what?
Without going too much into the nitty gritty of it, I did love how, she obviously said all that kind of stuff to you, but you referenced it in like chatting to her again, being like, yeah, it makes me feel shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. By the way, is there air conditioning in here? Can we have it on? Because I'm sweating my balls off. We're in a studio in Miami, listeners.
That's because you got jeans.
Yeah, I don't know what
You
else
need
to wear.
the dad shorts, you know?
This is my view. Oh, where did our producer go? Where did Clyde go? Oh, there he is.
Hey.
Yes, we need some air conditioning, man. We paid to rent this place, Clyde. Come on. No, we're just waiting for the air conditioning to kick in. I'm sweating a lot. Matt's in his dad shorts.
Yeah.
Show people your dad shorts, Matt.
Oh,
just
really?
yeah. Just stand up. Just stand up. Matt,
Oh, there we go.
who's supposed to
Oh,
be
that was a weird, like, thrust.
yeah,
Sorry,
stop
guys.
thrusting into the camera.
No, I mean,
If that's how you thrust, Matt, I feel bad for Gemma. That's a very anemic thrust. You know, a very slow, very
very
weak.
lackluster.
Yeah. Like
That was a
half-assing.
jet lagged. That was a jet lagged thrust.
Thrust. So I showed you the text message exchange, right, man? And it's just very I don't know. It's weird. It's very HR speak on her part.
No, but I think seeing you write it down about being
Oh,
yeah,
I texted her.
that made it so real.
I said, sorry for the radio silence. I just felt a bit meh after you chose paying your mortgage down over hanging out with me in New York. I really did text that.
Yeah.
I think it's important to be honest with people.
And she didn't deny it either.
She was like, oh, okay. We don't have to chat if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Where is that? Yeah.
Yeah, her mortgage, paying it down is like her whole identity.
No, he's a good person. I think she just doesn't want to hang with me. But then in her mind, she thinks it's less hurtful. I think she thinks it's less hurtful if she says, oh yeah, I just like to save money. So you want to pay down my mortgage. You know how the interest rate is going up because of the Ukraine and Russia war. So, you know, I want to pay down my mortgage so my mortgage payments don't go up too high. But that actually hurts more, you know,
Yeah.
because a mortgage. Sorry, guys. We just had to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
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 But it was fun. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a bit in my routine soon. You know, getting rejected due to a mortgage payment. I need to use it on other women. too,
It's
like,
the classic comedian, you know, cathartic thing to do. I
Yeah.
think you should.
it's painful. I'm still reeling from it, but you know, it's gonna be a bit one day. Just you wait, you know. And Miami has been cool.
Oh, so good.
Yes,
so
I
good.
stayed at the Fontainebleau, and don't worry, we'll be gone. I'll be gone, so people won't know. You know, people can't find me there anymore. Yeah, Matt came. What, 3 days ago? 2 days
Yeah,
ago?
yeah. Yeah, it's nice.
Again.
3 nights in Miami.
Me flying him out. You know, mortgage payments be damned. Let's fly Matt out to Miami. You know, and it's been good. Fontainebleau turns out is a legendary hotel, right? Frank Sinatra played there, and then
Didn't you say Elvis?
Elvis has left the building. That's the building that he left.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool. So
It's
it's
a cool
crazy
hotel.
to get to play there. It is just a glorified conference room for that show. It's not like a theater, but it's like, okay, it's still nice. It's
Yeah.
still nice.
I mean, it's the same stage that Frank Sinatra was on, you know. That's
Yeah, true.
Not many people can say that.
Yeah, but you know, most stages in the US, Frank Sinatra has performed on before, right?
I was
Doesn't mean it's good.
trying to pick you up. I was trying to be
Okay,
like a
thank you.
special little, yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Frank Sinatra's been on there. We could have been swimming in the same pool Frank Sinatra swam in. We could be using the same toilet he shat in, you know? We eating from the same plate. Frank Sinatra's like plate.
I wonder if he struggled with the safe in the cabana as well.
Yes, we got a cabana.
Oh, you
so-
got it thrown in.
Yes, we got thrown in because I'm performing there, so they give me a bit of VIP treatment. A cabana is like this little, you get by the pool, you can book out a little, like, what do you call it? A little sheltered
Yeah.
area, you know, a little shed. And then it's nice. You get
A very
couches.
expensive shed.
I know. That's where usually it's guys who get it, and then you get the gold digger girls coming up. Oh, by the way, that hotel, so many gold digger type women. At night, they just crawl out the shells and congregate at that hotel. And it turns out it's a real thing. You know,
Really?
our engineer, Clyde, told us that.
Oh,
real Gold Digger Hotel. And you can tell they dress a certain way, you know, and they look good. They look really good. And what annoys me the most is none of them approach me at all. I'm like, hey, I'm wearing a Rolex. Hey, pay me some attention, Gold Digger. My face is on the fucking poster in the lobby of the hotel because I just did a show. What about me?
Are you just saying like dropping your like Amex card or something? Your platinum Amex. Oh no.
Well, I don't have the platinum, the metal card.
Oh.
So I need to get on it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You can't drop a piece of plastic card. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, I'd be like, get this homeless guy out of here.
And nobody talked to me. I just did a show. And I was like, why? Why? What's wrong? Gold dig me, you know? What's wrong with me?
You are
staying at
ripe
this
for gold
hotel.
digging. That's true. You are ripe for it.
Yeah. I have some gold. But the level of wealth they're flexing is different, though. They show up with their yachts and Lamborghinis. But a lot of times it's rented. They don't actually have money. They're just renting it, right? Yeah, Clyde, our engineer, is laughing again and nodding.
Yeah.
It's a thing here, apparently, right? People just rent shit they can't afford.
That's so tragic. I think that's really sad.
Why?
Well, it's such an insecure. Why do you need to do that?
It's fun, you know?
Is it?
Yeah. Driving a Lamborghini is fun. I
Yeah,
never did
that's
it
true.
before. But what else you do? You can't afford to buy it. You have to rent it. Renting is a way for poor people to experience what rich people experience for like an hour or two. It's a great equalizer, right? Don't buy a car. Because then the gold diggers will be like, sorry, Nigel, I can't come to New York. I need to pay down my car. I need to make my car payments. Just bought a new Maserati. Sorry, Nigel. I need to make overpayments to my car. But yes, didn't get gold dug at all. But we did get to chill by the pool on Sunday. That was nice.
It was fun.
And then met another one of my Raya dates. You know, I have to get over this woman somehow, right, listeners?
Yeah.
You know, and then no, she's just a friend. She's just a friend. So met her on Raya, but we're friends now, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And Matt had to experience the tragic events of me attempting to flirt with this woman. You want to tell us your experience?
Oh,
Matt?
I just like, normally it's fine. I've done my time on this tour meeting Nigel's Raya dates and things, which
you
is
met
fine.
2 of them. Okay.
Which is fine. Like, I don't mind it at all. 'Cause they're really, I said to Nigel the other day, they're really interesting people. And they've all got good stories to tell. So it's like, oh, yeah, this is interesting. It was a bit much in the pool when you calling her your sugar, like, mummy.
Yeah, she's a successful woman. And I make fun of her for that, you know.
Yeah. And then you kept being like, oh, you can do whatever you want to me, mummy. And I'm just like, I don't want to be hearing this.
It's funny. It's funny. Making you uncomfortable is funny. And I made her uncomfortable too, probably.
Yeah.
But
At one point, you
in
were
a
like,
fun
yeah.
way. In a fun way.
At one point, it's just like, yeah, Matt, just go and swim over there for a bit. I'm like, great.
Yeah, Matt, fuck off for a little bit. Daddy's got to go to work. Daddy's got to do some shit, Matt, in this corner of the pool.
I did love it. You were making us both so uncomfortable. It was so funny.
That's my tactic with women. Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working out? You know? I thought making people uncomfortable was the key to the heart. Do you want to come spend time with me? Oh, God. Yeah, so I got given that cabana because I was a performing guest at the hotel, right? And then they just gave us just the cabana, you know? At least bring a few bottles of champagne out. You know, there's nothing sadder. There's nothing sadder than going to a club and then you see some guys getting a table and there's no drinks on the table. All right? That is the saddest thing. There's 4 guys sitting there, empty table.
Jug of tap water.
They give you shitty plastic cups. Yeah, you are poor. Just take the plastic cups. You don't deserve glass.
Oh my, I think it's enough time for having a rest. I think I might gonna do something now.